Hey everybody, it's Peter Grins.
I'm Major Mayor from the Couch Co-op broadcast. Here is our first broadcast. Oh, I can't be.
You got
Um,
this, bro.
I'm I'm Andy. People call me Major or Mayor. I was in the Marines in 2014. Got out 2015. Um, Due to a medical reason, that's why you'll hear me talking slow at times. Um, anyways, introduce yourself, Peter.
Oh, okay. I was gonna let you keep going. My name is Peter Grins. Some people call me Peter. Some people call me Grins. Some people call me Peter Grins, but very rarely does that happen. I'm a two-time published poet, published in Ireland and in New York State. Um,
Nice.
I'm a small Twitch streamer on Twitch, Peter underscore
Me too,
Grins.
but hey, me too, by the way.
Well, that's why I was kind of like letting you go on because I was like, there's more about you, Andy. There's more to talk about.
I,
Um,
I have a lot to talk about, trust me, but like I'll leave it for later.
I got you. What else about me? I've been playing video games since I was like 4 years old, and for some reason, I think that qualifies me to start a podcast talk about video games. So here we are.
Hey, I've been playing games since I was 2 years old.
And what do we
So
want to
I
talk about in this podcast? I'm sorry to cut you off.
no 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 worries. Like the state of the gaming industry right now, it's honestly in shambles.
Yeah, it's a little bit of a mess. You got loot
Yeah,
box scandals, you got pay to win, you got so much stuff going on.
yeah, and what is fun anymore?
That is,
Honestly,
that is something I wrote in our notes. I was like, what is fun? Are video games fun anymore? And that's the question that I'm going to pose to anybody that wants to comment. Are video games fun anymore? Do you have fun, or are you playing them just out of habit, just because this is something you've been doing for years and years and years, and you just do it to do it?
exactly.
Are you
Um,
still having fun, listeners?
I would personally think that like yeah, I'm having fun. The games are great, but always DLC, like extra content that should have been in the game that is you have to buy to see it. Like this is one of my favorite games ever, favorite series ever, Kingdom Hearts. Um, I don't know why you would pay for Kingdom Hearts 3 Remind, but I get why they did it. And it was phenomenal. But $30 for an extra side content, mm, not my cup of tea. But pero fuck it.
I hear you. And how many hours of content did that DLC provide?
It depends on how fast you did it. I, I would say hmm, like 20 hours if you're a casual gamer.
Okay, that's a pretty big chunk of content. Most games
Yeah,
nowadays are just 20 hours, sometimes less.
like uh it brings a new scenario to the ending. Riku is there,
Mm-hmm.
Kairi, and the real Organization 13 data fights, and they're harder, more reaction commands.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, yeah, like it was fun, and you have to work at obtaining all the cheat codes, um, easy codes, and pro codes.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, and if you be beat the game with all the pro codes on, which is really tough, you get the secret ending and the secret boss fight, yours, Yorzora, which is uh, honestly the best and hardest super boss in the entire series.
Okay, I get you. So definitely, like this DLC is kind of worth it, but I see the argument of like, why wasn't this in the game? Like the true ending is behind a DLC paywall. That's a little
Yeah.
silly, in my opinion.
Hey, I know it's Square Enix. They make good games, so I'm not a fan of paying for side content. But in this case, it was worth it.
I understand. Okay. See, I bring up another example. I am a big fan of Paradox games from Paradox Game Studios, and they make games like Stellaris, Victoria, Hearts of Iron. You know, big grand strategy games that I personally
Yeah,
enjoy. And we ran into this problem, me and my classmates, when I was in college. Um, that we all wanted to play Stellaris together, and we found it for like $5 on GTA. Shout out to GTA because they're awesome. Um, but
damn straight.
right, but the DLC that we needed to like play the full game experience cost us like 30-$40 to get all the DLCs we needed. And that's not all the DLCs. That's just the DLCs we needed to get like extra buildings to build, extra functionality, extra mechanics, you know, things like that. And I don't I love Paradox games because I think they're really fun. And Stellaris we got hours of enjoyment out of. I'm even going to
Hmm.
do a live stream coming up this Saturday on Stellaris. But having to pay $40 for the full game on top of what I would have originally paid, because I think on Steam it's like still $40. So I would have had to pay
Damn,
$80 to play the whole game, or most of the game, not all of it. There's still like $30-$40 left of content I didn't buy.
that's a shame. I want to shift this topic to games like God of War, the new one, God of War 4.
Mm-hmm.
That's a complete game.
Oh,
That
100%.
that's what we should be striving to, what game developers should be wary of. And it's a single player game, like it always has been.
And that's the sort of thing that developers are kind of afraid of nowadays, is like the story driven single player game is kind of dying when it comes to
Yeah,
like modern gaming, because it's not profitable. People don't play that. People don't buy that. People don't encourage others to play that as much as, like, say, let's pick one out of the hat, Apex Legends.
yeah.
Like Apex
I,
Legends is a free to play game, but how much do you have to spend on the battle pass? How much do you have to spend on like premium currency to buy your heroes or legends or whatever they're called. Skins is just one of the major things that gets sold on these games. And loot
Yeah.
boxes. That has a loot box system. Every time you level up, you get a loot box, or you can buy the loot boxes and just like start like opening them up, see if you get the skins you want.
Yeah.
See,
It's all.
the single player RPG doesn't have microtransactions, and that's why big companies like shy away from them, and they're like, I don't want to make those games anymore because I
Because
can't make
they,
extra money.
yeah, yeah. It's all about the money to them, but where is the fun?
Mm-hmm.
Where is the message that the story is supposed to project to
Right.
people?
Like at the end of the day, this is an art form, like a movie or a painting or any different kind of thing like that. Maybe not a painting, but you get what I'm trying to say. It's like a
Yeah,
story, it's like a
yeah,
book, it's like a movie. We're trying to convey something with a video game. And, you know, not to say that big companies shouldn't make money because like I can't sit here and tell like EA and like Paradox and Ubisoft
yeah,
and big companies like that, you're not allowed to make money. You're supposed to put all this effort into video games that aren't going to make you money because I want them. That's not okay.
yeah, exactly. But thing is, when the games they produce are fun, engaging, and have a good story or lore, for that matter, people will buy more of their games.
Yeah, how many times have you bought Skyrim?
Uh,
I'll go first. I bought it 3 times. You know, and I'm only moderately ashamed. Because it's such a good game full of lore
yeah,
and hours of gameplay, and there is DLC, but the game feels complete when you play it. You know, the DLCs are supposed to be like sprinkles. They're supposed to be an
yeah,
add-on to the game. They're not supposed to finish the story. They're not supposed to like add on content that should have been in the game. They shouldn't add mechanics that make the game feel complete. They're
yeah.
sprinkles.
It, the thing about Skyrim is it, let's say I take a donut.
Mm-hmm. Andy has a donut.
uh, the glaze is Skyrim,
Mm-hmm.
and this DLCs are like you said, sprinkles.
Mm-hmm.
There you have a complete game and with extra stuff that's not supposed to be there.
Mm-hmm.
Um, it's not supposed to be there, but the game devs want you to have fun where with some more concepts, so they're there. Uh,
I agree 100%. I think we could take a lesson from Skyrim. And I think Bethesda for the most part has done a good job with how they produce games. Now, don't get me wrong, they're glitchy as all hell. And
yes.
that's just the Bethesda magic that we're supposed to like swallow. That's a feature. But
uh,
when it comes to like game design, not graphic design, game design, they do well. You know, they
yeah,
make a complete story in their games. They flesh it out. They don't hide anything behind paywalls, and they add extra content that
yeah,
doesn't complete the story but adds on to the thing, on to the game, like sprinkles.
yeah. But but that Bethesda so far has sort of failed.
Bethesda's fallen off the wagon. They sold out to Xbox. They sold out
Okay.
to Microsoft. I don't know what's up with them anymore. I think that we will eventually get Sky. I was about to say Skyrim 6. Wow,
Oh,
what a bonehead thing to say. I think we will get Elder Scrolls 6 soon. I think we will get Starfield soon, but it's just they're in development hell. I don't know where these games are right now, and I would like to think that with the added resources that selling to Microsoft is going to give them, I would think this development would speed up. But the big fear I have is exclusivity. Is now Elder Scrolls 6 is going to be an Xbox exclusive. That's what I am
yeah,
afraid of.
yeah. And eh, I guess it will be, but like I said, like this Bethesda has fallen ever since the release of uh, Fallout 76.
Fallout 76 is a mess. And I've tried to play it. I have tried to play it. I was like, okay, I kind of want an MMO Fallout game. I kind of want to try it. I've heard all the bad things about it. I played it like maybe a year or two into its release, maybe a couple more years. I can't
Yeah,
remember exactly. It feels like it was just like a couple months ago that I tried it. It ran like crap. Couldn't do anything. My
yeah,
computer's not. No, I have own a laptop. My computer's not terrible. I got 16 gigs of RAM. I got an i7 processor. My computer's not bad. But
yeah,
for the amount of lag I was getting, I couldn't understand what was going on, and I refunded it. I paid $45 for that game, and it was unplayable. I just couldn't play it.
yeah. I played it through a mutual friend of ours, Javi,
Mm.
uh, on his computer. It ran well, and like there were wait,
Waiting.
uh, what were you talking about?
We were talking about Fallout 76.
Oh yeah, I tried it on Javi's computer, and it ran well for the crap that I've been hearing, uh, but there were glitches. A super mutant was like stuck in a building
Mm.
that's not accessible, shooting down at me.
Hmm. Yeah, but
So
yeah, but don't you realize that's just the Bethesda magic, man? That's just oh God, what's his name? Uh, God, what's his name? The executive, Tom Howard's, Todd Howard's.
yeah,
That's just Todd Howard's little sparkly fairy
no, no,
dust.
no, no. That game, it could have been great. It could have been, but back to what we said, like all they care about is money and th- nothing else. I mean, like it was fun, but it was a broken game,
Yeah,
essentially.
yeah, I could see that. And as we've seen through just the news back then, like we could see that Fallout 76 was just a cash grab by Bethesda, and they paid dearly for that. They had to start giving out DLC for free. They had to start taking out the microtransact because the microtransactions were horrendous in that game, if I recall correctly.
Yes. Yep. $5 to get you a skin.
And what was
Five. What?
and what was that? God, I can't remember now. But there was the Bethesda mods that you had to pay
Yeah.
for. Do you
Yes.
remember that?
I do.
I forget what they're called. I forget what it was called.
Um, I know they had a card system. Like, each card you got enhanced something. Uh, like strength, um, agility, charisma.
And did those cards
But
come in
there,
packs?
no.
No. Okay.
You get a singular card.
Okay.
And my God, it could have been so good. But let's transfer over, like, let's shift to indie games.
Yeah. Let's sing a little bit of
And
praise for indie games really quick.
yeah, yeah,
Indie games. We love you. You are a shining beacon of hope in a dark, stormy sea.
yes. Like games like Undertale, Delta's Room, Celeste. Um, they they tackle real life like topics like no one else does. It, like I have Celeste, and it talks it talking it talks about this young woman who is gonna climb a mountain and is scared to do so, and eventually her anxiety kicks in and depression, and you had to play a little mini game, like balancing a feather with your breath. It's like calming you down, and eventually you get through it and get to the summit. Now, I don't know what game tackles that. Senua's Sacrifice tackles psychosis. God of War tackles fatherhood and the mistake that a father has to show his son or his daughter. Uh, Resident Evil 8 uh, talks about how much fear the main character has over becoming a dad. So, like, these are real world topics that are are portrayed greatly. Like, it's amazing. That's
So it's not just indie games we're talking about at this point. It's all video games.
yeah. But like video games, at least the ones with story, always paint a message. God of War 1 through 3 and Ascension, Change of Olympus, and they show you revenge never leads to a good place. You're never satisfied, and when you are, like you burn out. And God of War 4 came, where he has a son, and he's angry because his son is not him, or I forgot where uh, exactly the story goes, but he shows his son how to be a warrior. It's like if you're if you are uh, like trying to get the warrior ethos, uh, play God of War. It like it as uh, a father, if you had kids, and as a man, it will show you great things. Um, and Celeste, I, dude, Celeste is so good. I almost cried.
Oh man.
Uh, like I found Celeste when I was at a very bad point in my life, and the game shows me that like I don't have to be scared, uh, and just do it, even if you're scared. So like games like that portray a message that you can be better.
I think at the end of the day, all video games have the message of that you can be whatever you want to be. You can
Yeah,
be a soldier, you can be a hero, you can be sometimes a villain, you can be whatever you want to be. It just takes time and consistency, and you can do it. And if you don't get that from video games, then I think you're not thinking deeply enough about the video games that you play.
yep. Uh, like I'm a game development major, and I want to just make my game so people could smile, people enjoy the game, and people have fun with it,
And I think
which is uh, what we're lacking in the industry. Sorry to
no,
cut you off.
no, you're fine. I cut you off constantly, so it's
Yeah,
fair. But I was gonna say, and that is the praise that we want to sing to indie developers, is that you guys out there are doing amazing work, and you're doing it
yes,
because you love what you do. You know, money is just like a secondary outcome for you guys. The every time you work on something, it is a passion project that you
yes.
love, and it's your vision that you want to share with the world and with the community and with the industry, and that is amazing.
Well, we're almost out of time for this uh, podcast. Anything you want to add?
um well, we have a couple minutes. We can just touch on one more thing if you want to.
Oh yeah. Um,
We have one more thing on the list.
I've been hearing a lot of things about WoW versus Final Fantasy 14, uh, and I'm really disappointed in Blizzard. Uh, like their top creators, like Jesse Cox, Asmongold, Gold, and Big Hero 60, are transferring over, and they honestly think it's fun, and those are guys that have played WoW for 15 years.
So I guess the question you're trying to ask is like, what is WoW doing that these longtime players are transferring over to a new game and starting fresh? Because that's 15 years of invested time that you're
Yeah,
just kind of giving up really quick to go play another game.
uh, I don't blame people like Axeman for jumping over. He was uh, really against it because it didn't strike him the right way, but he did it. And it's just that Blizzard with WoW, like each new patch or like each new expansion, they like, okay, if I had a legendary in WoW, I would have to recraft it. So
Okay.
like that's the meme um floating around. Like why um craft a legendary when next patch you got to do it again?
So,
That's just not fair.
so WoW doesn't let you keep your legendary crafted gear after the patch or the update?
No, no, you have
Wow.
to make it again.
You gotta make it
And
again. That's crazy.
that's not um like live letters like WoW devs tell you the updates. It's not always good. It's mostly bad.
And how
And
how are they bad? How would you say that those DLC are those updates are bad? Because I've never played WoW, and like I don't intend to play WoW, so I kind of like in the dark. I'm in the dark a little bit.
um like quality of life changes. Like gear is still the same. Just add new systems to make it more complex. Air quotes.
Hmm.
Um, and like, okay, if you have one helmet that is all geared up from the previous expansion,
Mm-hmm.
and it's like powerful as hell, the next expansion you have to get the same helmet but with a new slower system.
Hmm. So it would take you as long as it took you to get that helmet. The next update, it would take you even longer to get the same helmet you already had
At full power, yes.
at full power. I don't think that's how you do replayability and like elongate the life of the game. That doesn't sound correct to me. Now, I've never played WoW, and I'm not much of an MMO fan myself. Like I play a little bit of MMO and then I fall off, so I've never reached the higher echelons of the games. But if I had to do that, I wouldn't do it.
Like I'm qualified to say what I said because I have played WoW and BFA at max level, um, and I left that to come to Final Fantasy 14. Started from scratch. Now I'm level 80 in three jobs, or classes, if you will. No, four classes, and I've got the um, relic weapon for one, my gun breaker complete, and I'm working on my warrior next. So like
So you're up
that,
there. You're up there.
yeah,
Okay.
yeah, and I've rated, and so and another thing, you can play uh, each class on one character in Final Fantasy 14.
Okay. All right. That's cool. Can you not
So
do that in WoW?
no,
Hmm.
you have you have to okay, for me, I was um a paladin horde blood health.
Okay.
I maxed that. Uh, I wanted to play something else, I had to re-roll a new character.
Okay.
Yeah, yeah,
So you had to start from zero, like,
yep.
okay.
And like I had two characters in WoW.
Mm-hmm.
The first is Max Level, my main. The second, Undead Hunter, which
Okay,
I
sounds
had to
badass.
start. Yeah, I have to start from level 1, and the grind is not quick in the WoW.
Hmm. I could imagine.
Well, we're out of time.
Yeah, we're pretty
Uh,
much
uh,
out of time.
yeah, we're 6 minutes over. Um,
Well,
yeah.
that's fine.
What's uh, what's another 6 minutes?
So if you liked what you heard here, I have been Peter Grins,
And this is Major Mayor, and
and
we are off.
have a good night, have a good day, have a good whatever.
Now I'm gonna catch Pokemon in Pokemon Go. Bye.